Hello and welcome to another episode of Armored Warfare with your host, Czar Peppers. Today we've got Armored Warfare is back up for the, it's not quite the beta yet, but sort of I don't know, I forget what they're calling it. I suppose you could say it's an early access, but they're not calling it that. But it's back in, that's the main thing, and this time the bases is actually in the game, because I'm pretty sure they promised to have it in Early Access 5, but it wasn't really there, but that's alright, it's here now. So I'm going to show you a bit of that. I'm going to show you some play of the Object 155, the premium vehicle that people doing the Early Access got, and rather controversially, also the people doing the stress test. However, to be honest, who cares? The Object 155 has been given a bit of a buff. The reload time has been reduced from 8 seconds to 6.89 seconds. The aiming time has been reduced from 3.9 to 2.94 seconds because apparently people were finding that the thing just wasn't really a match for the MBTs of Tier 3. So the buff is welcome. Now just a quick reminder as to some of the perks that you get with the premium vehicles, because it's quite good, is you get a 50% bump in reputation, you get a 25% bump in credits earned for the first victory of the day. You don't have to research or purchase equipment for it. It increases your chance of being top tier in the match, and opportunity to earn reputation that you can convert to global reputation, which using gold, which is nice. However, I've never been a huge fan of the whole converting certain reputation with gold into other kinds of reputation, sort of similar to how they have it in War Thunder, and I'm not a huge fan of that system. There has also been some rebalancing done to the PT-76, the BMD-4, the BMP-1P through to 3M, and a few others. But now I'll show you the bases. Alright, now we're in the bases menu where you can see the layout of your base, which this basically represents the operating area of your particular defense contractor. You get a number of different buildings. For example, we'll look at the barracks, which I've built, which gives you a boost on your crew XP each battle. You can use raw materials to upgrade them, and the raw materials you can see up in the upper right hand corner. You get a certain amount a day. I believe to start it's 100 a day, and you can see right here, like the airport costs 100 raw material, and if we look at the pre-existing buildings, you can see that to upgrade this it will cost 300 raw material, and upgrading the buildings will just increase the amount of perks that you'll get from that building. Now it's quite nicely done. As you can see over here, you've got sort of a construction placeholder while the building is being constructed. The sounds are pretty nice too. They got some bass sounding sounds, I suppose. It's pretty simple at the moment. There's really not a huge amount to it, but I think it's an interesting idea, and I'd like to see where they're going to go with this in the future. And now we have our game in the Object 155. Now I was trying to do some research on this thing, but all I could find when I looked it up were stuff related to Armored Warfare. I couldn't find anything related to an actual Object 155, so I don't know if this is something they've just made up. It seems like it's a prototype for the T-62, possibly. It has, unlike the T-62 has about 100 millimeters of frontal armor though, whereas this has 120, a little bit more, and I believe this has a bit more potent gun on it, with a pretty good reload time too. Now, I've been playing with it quite a bit just to see what it's like, and to be honest, I haven't been particularly hugely impressed. I mean, it's alright. It does some good damage, but it's a bit slow. It's... I don't know. It's alright.
Identify target. Hostile tank. Enemy lit up.
As you can see, it does a pretty decent amount of damage. I believe I'm on the Savo rounds.
Identify. Hostile tank.
I think the biggest plus about this particular tank is the damage that the Savo rounds on it do.
Target destroyed.
Scorpion down. Another Scorpion. Let's switch to Heat. Looks like don't have to worry about that anymore. I believe that's Amex with a big gun on it. Not a threat. I found in this match I was trying to constantly catch up to the action because all these fast tanks like the Scorpion and the Lav, or maybe it was the Dragoon back there. Now I think I bounced a shot from that thing, which is pretty impressive. That 120mm frontal armor. Can't quite get a shot on the T-72. Oh, here we go. Sort of surprised that I can pen that thing there, but I hesitated for a bit too long. Forward we go. What we really need to do is get over these train tracks, because I can't get any shot on anybody.
Take that refinery before it explodes.
This derelict tank will make good cover. Very nice. Very nice. The tank is sort of growing on me. It does a pretty impressive amount of damage. And the reload time is 6 seconds? Well, I suppose if you round it up, 7 seconds.
Intel suggests that supply vehicles containing
Got my buddy the Scorpion.
are in the area.
Identify
Neutralize
target.
them en route to the refinery.
Hello. Not quite. Don't really want to move. In these PvE missions, you want to be careful about moving into that cap circle, because pretty much as soon as you go into it, it'll spawn a whole bunch of enemies all around you, and you end up getting flanked.
Identify target. Hostile.
So I usually like to go around and deal with these guys as much as possible, and then I'll come back and start capping. Alright, since we couldn't really get a shot at those guys, I'm going to go around here and try and flank those guys from their left, I suppose. No, their right. Hop back here. Oh, I wonder what happened to that guy. Okay, looks like we're clear now. See, this would be the good time to go back and start capping. Although I still have some contacts popping up on the screen. Some more. So let's go deal with these first. Amex down.
Target down.
One more.
They're mobilized.
Oh, got a track out. Mobilized. Another shot should do the trick. There we go. So, I don't think you can... This is only a tank that will be received by those who were involved in the early access. I don't think it will be purchasable in the store. Hop over here. I saw... There we go.
Incoming
One hit. Let's dodge this artillery. Pop around here. Has a rather slow turret turn rate as well. But, I mean, for a tank like this, it's to be rather expected. Alright, now we'll pop back over and get to the cap circle finally. I usually like to avoid capping right away, because what's the fun in that? Going to PvE is to go around blowing up AI. Alright, well, I mean, it's a pretty decent tank. Definitely, you can definitely have some fun in it, but nothing too special, I don't think. But yeah, so everybody, welcome to the prelude to open beta, and I really can't wait to have a whole bunch. There's another fucking thing falling over. Really can't wait to have a whole bunch of new people coming in so it doesn't take as long to get into matchmaking.
Great job, Black Company. The refinery is under our control and the explosives have been disabled.
Awesome. And despite the only 2 targets taken out, I did pretty good. Pretty good job. Good tank. Good little tank. Well, I guess not so little tank. It's a pretty big tank. Otherwise, I've been having just as much fun as I have been in the other early access, and it does seem a lot more polished. So, you know, there's no reason why anybody shouldn't get into this. So, start playing right now. Anyways, on that note, good night.